Hello and welcome to Bahrain for round three of the Sunday night race department highlights. So I can't remember what I normally say at this point.
It'd be an interesting race.
It will be. But yes, as per usual, we have Ben with us.
Hi.
Rob McCracken, I'm afraid, is taken ill by the Bahrainian food.
Yeah,
Um,
I think he heard that we're going to Bahrain, and he's allergic to rain. So I think he got the wrong idea with the name of the country. So yeah, he won't be here this week. So if you want witty outbursts, unfortunately, you might as well turn off now.
but we'll do our best to replace him. Anyway, qualifying.
Yeah. So on pole we have Gunnar Gamble or Dean in the Mercedes. Is this the start of his fight back for the championship? Because so far Gaza has dominated. Second is Gaza, 31.9, so only a tenth off Dean's pole position. Amari third for McLaren, and what we've heard could be one of his last drives for the team. There is rumours that he's struggling to get on with his team. In fourth place is Adam in the Toro Rosso. Good effort from him, beating his illustrious teammate Gareth in the other Toro Rosso in fifth place. Bren in sixth place for Williams. Another good job for him and ever improving. Seventh for Seeks in the Force India, the first of the Force Indias. He's also pretty much improving every race at the moment. Michael eighth in the Williams. Ninth for Rob in the first of the Ferraris, just beating his teammate Carl. 11th for Ben in the Force India, still struggling to get the grips with the car. 12th for Boldy in the other McLaren. 13th for Gavin in the Marussia, the first of the Marussias. They seem to be struggling again this weekend. 14th for Owen in the Mercedes. And bring up the rear is Lance in the other Marussia.
Yeah, unfortunately, So Solid got a 10th place penalty. Don't know what for, but that means everyone else is going to jump up a place, apart from Lance and the guys ahead of Adam. Um, so it's a bit disappointing for Adam, but let's see what he can do from the back. Seek carrying Force India forward, obviously. Um, yeah, good qualifying by Dean to get pole.
Yeah, very close qualifying. The top 15 covered by 1.7 seconds on a pretty technical track shows the strength and depth of the field this season.
Yeah, definitely. Force India getting ready to get Seeks out of the garage onto the grid, along with the rest of the field. First corner, normally pretty action packed. Will there be contact? Will everyone get through okay? It's about time to find out. As Gunnar Gamble on pole on the options, Gaza on options 2. So is Pren in 5th, Seeks in 6th, Michael in 7th, Rob in 8th, Carl in 9th, Ben gone for the primes in 10th, Owen in 13th. I think Boldy also went for primes. But as we join Seeks on the grid, as the lights come up, ready to start round 3 of season 8 and Sunday Night Championship. Long wait and away we go. Off the line. Looks like Gunnar Gamble got a good start further ahead, but Seeks getting the typical pad start, actually having to let back off a little bit so he doesn't run into the back of the Toro Rosso. Cautiously into the corner. Oh, who's that? It's a Ferrari. I think that's Rob or Carl. As Seeks comes around the corner and they would have been taken out. It's into the wall, losing the front wing, both of them. I don't know if that is Carl. That is Carl.
Yeah, that's
Disappointing
Carl.
start.
It's not his first incident of the season, and I won't think it will be his last. But on board with Owen now, he's made up a great deal of places at the start, just behind Ben, who's on prime, so he should have an advantage here.
Yeah, as they run through the fast right, left chicane as we come up to the second, or we're just gone into the second sector. It looks like Boldy hit the bollard a bit there, but Owen making the move past Ben.
Yeah, you can see the advantage that the softer tyre has. He just literally pulled that move on sheer grip, basically. Boldy's had a good start as well. He's up to 8th from, I think it was 12th on the grid. On board with Rob as well on the back of this group. Just keeping watching. In fact, sorry, he's in front of Boldy, sorry, my mistake. And he's having a good start to the race as well.
Yeah, one of the Williams darting across the track there. We've got Gareth in front who's pretty... Oh! Contact there. Gareth hitting... I'm going to assume that was Pren. So that's given... Well, it meant Rob had to back off a little bit. And it's given everyone else a run down into the final corner. On board with Boldy now as you run into the final corner. Rob's under pressure. Oh no, on board with Owen even. Boldy in front. Rob under a lot of pressure from these two guys. A lot of slipstream available on this track. Can they make a move? Gonna look like it's gonna be three abreast going into the corner. Rob's actually backed out. Oh no, it's lag. Rob's in front again, but runs very deep into the corner. Still having to give room. Good awareness from Owen there, and actually picks off both of them. But as we come back, Seeks changing the front wing, managed to get back to the pits ahead of Carl. Pretty much ruined his race already, but let's see how he can get back if he can at all. As we're back on board with Ben. Red Pill going round the outside, a bit of lag in front though. This is quite a hectic start.
Yeah, there's crazy amounts of lag, and I hope the race doesn't get decided on this. But Ben, you can see really struggling with the primes early on here, trying to keep the back end intact, and a little hit there from Gavin. I'm not sure Ben knew he was there, so probably Ben's fault that. I would have thought Gavin's passed anyway, and they're both on prime, so this will be an interesting battle.
Yeah, them two will be racing each other. We probably would have thought. So Solid has gone quite far. Oh no, he started at the back because of his penalty. He's playing catch up. So we're back on board with Rob, trying to make a move on Owen, I think this is. Got the inside. Owen hanged it round the outside. Can he do anything? No, it's Boldy. Sorry, my mistake. But Boldy takes the move. Rob trying to get the cutback. Comes out that corner so much better than Boldy. But by the looks of it, Boldy's running a bit like lower aero. As he's keeping alongside. But Rob's going to have the inside line for the corner. Politely runs him out of road a little bit and takes the place. But now we can just see the train of cars behind. As now Ben's in this train of cars. How is he going to fare? Is he going to get any places? So Solid just behind as well. It's going to be interesting. So Solid does have a look down the inside, but Ben tries to hook it round the outside of Gavin. Can't do it, and it's still as you were. Although Gavin's looking quite a lot down the inside of Boldy, and So Solid's having a look down the inside of Ben. Anything going to happen? So Solid does a little half-hearted move. Ben keeps his position though, and slots back in front of Adam.
Yeah, the prime race carries on. This is a battle for 8th place. So you got Boldy and Red Pill down the inside. That's Gavin down the inside, trying to make the move. Also on primes. So 8th, 9th, and 10th all on primes. Adam behind in 11th, trying to make up for lost time, as you mentioned about his penalty, which is still a mystery to us. I'm sure it's a mystery to him as well sometimes with this game. But yeah, pulling out the DRS, and that should give Gavin the advantage on Boldy as they head towards the end of the back straight.
Yeah, So Solid also having a weaving around behind Ben, but not really a corner you can do too much on if you're not next to him. But yes, in front, Boldy has now given up the position to Gavin under the DRS, but he's dropped back right into the clutches now, pretty much bumper to bumper as we rode through the right-hander. So Solid looks like he's got a good exit as well. Looking very racy, So Solid. And don't blame him for that penalty, wanting to get back up the front. Probably on the options I would have thought starting.
Yeah, he's going to need to be racy, and now on board of Rob as he's catching Owen. Owen's good start, maybe it's starting to come to a end because he didn't qualify particularly well. But as the faster guys now start to try and come through and past him, Ben running very deep into turn 1, loses the back end again. So it looked like Adam was on options actually as he came past. And now Ben under pressure from, well, everyone. There's looked like a Marusha in the mirrors and a Williams. Owen on the outside now with Rob. That's not going to work there. Owen and Rob takes the position, and Owen won't be getting past there.
Yeah, Ben's mistake giving Adam an easy place. I'm sure he'll be happy for that all the time. But Rob running deep as he tried to go defensive. Now we're back on board with Ben, looking at the battle. Oh no, Ben's dropped back even further than I thought. Got Michael just behind. Got Adam, Gavin, and I think Boldy in front. It looked like a bit of contact there. So Solid's got DRS on both of them, running around the outside with the DRS. pretty simple move by the looks of things, but now we're back on board with Owen and Rob. Still hammer and nail.
Yeah, you just feel if Rob could make the pass, then he would pull away, but a little bit over eager in the middle sector to try and get away, and actually give him the kiss of death there, and he made a mistake and Owen got back through, so credit to Owen for making the move. But Rob just taking it easy because there is a bit of a lag, so he's just pulling out to make sure he doesn't ram Owen. And also just want to correct you, Jonathan, it's not bumper to bumper, it's wing to wing in these open wheel cars.
Yes, sir.
To make sure that everyone understands that.
Obviously, yeah. But these two guys fighting pretty hard. You might want to be careful with Adam, who's going to be fast approaching, being one of the qualifying one of his fastest. He should catch him pretty quickly. Now he's got through the big traffic of a big gaggle of cars behind. So they might want to just try and create a little bit of a gap, but back on board with Ben, who's now got pressure from Lance behind. All this battle still for P8, 9, 10, 11, and I think 12's in there as well.
You can see Ben messing about with the brake bias, obviously trying to get a little bit of turning. You can see he's struggling with the back, but then these prime tyres do tend to struggle with early. You use them at the start of the race. It's normally etiquette to use the options, but worth a shot, see how it pans out in the end.
Yeah, when you qualify a bit further back, it's always an opportunity to try and take a risk with your strategy.
Yeah, but worth pointing out that Ben is the leading Force India driver despite his teammates' comments in qualifying, but on board with Rob at the start just to see what happens at the start, see if there's any contact. Made a fairly good start, but sort of got his rear tyres a little bit hot pulling away. Carl's already passed him, and we're going to see what happened with Carl and Seeks here. I would have thought Seeks pinned to the inside, a bit of contact already, and then what happens here? Carl just, you see the interlock wheels. I wouldn't really think that was anyone's fault. It just seemed like a coming together of sorts. Again, we'll see from Ben as he heads down to turn one. Not a very good start, but then he is on the primes. Carl's a bit twitchy. Let's see what else we can see from his view. Again, Rob a little bit cautious into turn one. There's the contact, and then we want to see what happens here in the final contact. And yeah, it does just look like the wheels interlock. Looks like a 50-50 racing accident to me.
They're giving everyone an opportunity to make a few paces, but Baldy's round the outside, and Ben can't quite come back at him. A little bit of a mistake there from Ben, but Owen can't take the opportunity. So having a look at the front of the field now, Prem normally pretty good at starting, getting a nice gap in the middle there. Dean and Gaz are holding their P1 and P2 respectively, and Prem picks a spot through the middle and gains 2 paces on Gareth and Amara. So nicely done.
Yeah, Prem's really impressing everyone lately. Like I say, his pace has been improving, much like Gaza did this time last year. He just started to reach a new level. This is going to be interesting. We're 14th with Owen. As he tries to find space, that was really impressive. Right through the middle of everyone. A bit of contact there, but I don't think that's his fault. Turns in, and we're going to. Oh, what happened there? Cars have just disappeared, and there's more contact. And that's with So Solid, was it? I believe.
Yeah.
It was So Solid done really well to come back from an accident as well, to come through the pack like he is.
Yeah, so quickly as well.
Yeah, we see Ben sliding around as well. So, right, anyway, back to the live action.
Yeah, on board with Prem attacking Gaza for P2. Both on the options. He's going to have a look around the outside. Gaza going defensive. Got Amari tucked in right behind as well. So this could be interesting. Prem in the awkward position of attacking and defending. But the battle for about P7 to P13 is still going.
Yeah, half the field in broad on this, and this is more contact again. Ben with Gavin now. I think Ben just lost the back end and straight to the side of Gavin. But this battle is absolutely raging. Like you say, that was half the field, and that's who's this? That's Gavin down the inside of Baldy. I think Baldy's still the leading prime runner, but Gavin and Ben seem to be gathering pace.
Yeah, as we're back at the front, and looks like Prem's going to another go on Gaza with a DRS. Gaza looks like he's pulled away a bit during that lap, and Amari's still tucked in just behind, just 3 tenths back. But the DRS is pretty strong around this crack, and he goes around the outside. Gaza pretty wise to it, cuts him off a little bit, and retakes the position.
Yeah. I mean, we're back to this battle, which doesn't seem to be ended. Gavin now down the inside of Steve. Steve cuts back, nice move. Knew that was going to happen. Straight back into P8. Going a little sideways, but Ben just keeping a watching brief at the moment. Maybe it's better just to leave these two to battle for the moment and use their tyres.
Yeah, I think Lance is just tucked in behind as well, still holding on to the back of him.
Yeah, not too far behind, I don't think.
But Owen and Adam still climbed up the top, up the table somehow. Despite all the traffic that they've had to get through. Rob's pulled away a little bit, but Adam definitely within DRS range. Tucks in behind, opens the DRS, and should be a pretty easy move into the next corner, you would have thought.
Yeah, you'd think so. Adam must be kicking himself for that penalty because he's clearly got the pace of the front runners. He's coming through so easily through this middle pack, and it won't be too long till he's on the back of Rob.
Yeah, there's contact ahead. As Ben takes the opportunity and takes them both, Baldy and Gavin making having a bit of contact at the end of the DRS straight. Whether or not one of them outbraked into the other, don't know. But the fact is that they've lost the place from each to Ben. As now Amari is attacking Pren for P3.
Yeah, Amari's looking dangerous now. He's building up into this race. He's sort of sat back, watched these guys have a bit of a fight. Now he wants a bit of it himself. We know Amari's an aggressive driver and he'll go for it when he has to, and that looks like a mistake from Pren, which will surely give Amari the position, and it does. Surely that'll put Amari up into P3 just to see what happens on the break in here, but Pren's not giving this up, and he could have the advantage around the outside. Nope, Amari cuts him off, all fairly of course, and takes the position. Can he now go after the car?
Yeah, as we jump to the pit lane now, as Rob comes in, changes from his primes to his from his options to another set of options. Who's this? Owen going for a set of primes now on lap 9. But a lap later, and the leaders are in. Amari and Pren are both in. Pren going for another set of options, and Ben going from his primes to his options now. Not lasting. The primes didn't last as long as I expected them to, actually. Maybe
with that one, Ben's confident he can make the options last. We'll have to see how that one shakes out. Obviously, you want to be on the options as long as possible because they're the faster tyres. Pren now closes back in on Amari, who's gained the position as we saw. And tries to go around the outside, but I'm not sure that's going to work. But it has. Take it back. That's a brilliant move.
Polite racing from Amari there. Easily could have just run him out of the road.
I would have. But yeah, that's very polite.
Yeah, good overtake nonetheless. So we're back on board with Rob, who's lost the position to Baldy in the pits. Unless Baldy hasn't pitted yet. Adam just tucked in behind, about half a second back. Baldy runs wide, and that's going to be an easy overtake for both of the guys there. Maybe a little problem, or just lapse in concentration.
Well, Baldy's yet to pit. Maybe he's starting to struggle with his primes, but easy for Rob. And now the battle that we predicted, Adam is now right on the back of Rob.
Rob going defensive early, making his position well clear to Adam. Adam easily on the DRS. Quite hard to go round the outside on this corner. As we said, it is pretty easy just to run the other person out of road, but he's made the move and he's got through. Nicely done. Adam getting up to P7 now. Still on a charge back through the field.
Yeah, you can see there's two cars in front of him, so that'll be his aim. He'll be trying to hunt those down, but Rob's not giving us up. A little sideways there, and that'll let Adam off hook, and he's got his sector to pull away as well. So let's see if he can catch the other two cars. That 5th and 6th in front of him, you can see.
Yeah, Adam runs pretty wide through the S's, but Rob outbraking himself massively into the hairpin. And now Seeps is back in, going on to a set of options, lap 13. So now Kyle is retired from the race. Obviously in contact at the start, but maybe other problems, we don't know. So now Rob and Adam have caught the guys up ahead for P6 and 5. This should be interesting. It is Gavin. Gavin, I assume, is still to pit.
I'm assuming he's still with Baldy, but that's quite hard to see. But yeah, Adam's not wasting any time. He knows he can get a P5 out of this, and that would be some achievement from the back of the grid.
Yep. Rob going to get in the DRS. Not going to make a move, you wouldn't have thought. No.
So he's triggered the gap there, so now Gavin a little sideways as well out the last corner, so that should give Rob all the momentum he needs as they shift into 7th gear, and the DRS is wide open. I would imagine Gavin's got DRS phase from the car in front, so it's not going to be easy. Meanwhile, just behind that battle, Ben's now overtaking Owen as he starts his recovery after obviously a prime stint at the start. Quickly back to this battle though, and Adam's now right on the back of the, looks like it could be Boldy, I'm guessing it's Boldy, as he goes defensive, and yeah, Rob's watching this.
Oh, it's his teammate
Gareth.
Wow. So Gareth, I assume, didn't put up too much of a defence there, but now he's going to try and defend probably quite a lot from Rob, as he wants to let Adam get away as much as he can. Gareth, with his bags of experience, knows how to play the team game as well. Six now goes fastest, so showing that he has a bit of pace, although a bit of misfortune. Yeah, so Rob going to get the DRS. Gareth did as well actually on Adam, so that's going to help him out a bit. But probably not going to be able to make a move into the corner unless he properly dive bombs him. Nope. Gareth a lot quicker through the corner as well.
Yeah, Gareth's strangely off the pace around here. I mean, he has won here before in the past, as we know he's a multiple champion. But yeah, like you say, playing the team game, letting Adam get on with it, and Adam just literally cleared off. He's like, right, who's next?
Yeah.
I'm not sure he will catch the car in front, but he can have a go at trying.
Yeah. Gavin dropped back quite a bit in that lap as well. About a second and a half back now, but Rob still hot on the heels of Gareth as he gets a DRS, opens it. Ooh, bit of a late move there, but Rob making the move stick, unless he outbrakes himself. No, perfectly on the apex there. Nicely done. So now Adam and Rob are both going to try and make their way back up the field, but Gareth's coming back at Rob. Will he be able to get back down the inside? Into a braking zone now for the right-hander. Yes, Gareth back down the inside of Rob. Rob's going to have to do it all over again. And this is going to hurt Rob quite a lot if he wants to catch Adam up again.
Yeah, we're seeing some people struggling with the primes, and we're seeing some people getting them to work, and Rob seems to be getting his to work. Gareth seems to be struggling with his. Adam's definitely getting his to work, and Gavin seems to be the one that's really struggling with the primes. So yeah, he'll want to get back on option. Contact there. That was a little bit late there from Rob, and knocked Gareth sideways a little bit, pushed him wide, but he's got it back, and now Gavin's actually struggling so much. Ben's caught him. Ben's right on the back of him now. I don't know if he'll be a bit too far back to make a move here, and he's already passed Gavin once, remember, when Boldy and Gavin actually came together earlier on. Now around the outside, that's a bit ambitious, I think. Gavin's got that one covered, but will he try and outbreak him on the outside with a superior grip? He's hanging on, and he's done the move. That puts Ben up into 8th place in the Force India.
Yep, nicely done, as now Gavin's already under attack from Owen for P9. There's just no rest for Gavin. He's surely got a pit soon if he hasn't already. And as you say, is that defensive? Oh no, that is defensive. It's not a pit lane entry. Pretty much no resistance there. Easy move for Owen. As we now skip forward to lap 17. Sorry, go on, Ben.
Yeah, sorry, he's just going to have to suck it up, Gavin, for a minute until he can get home on the options. He's just going to have to put up with it for a minute. But yeah, as you're about to say sorry, but Pren overtaking Dean down the inside and into 2nd place. Dean was our early leader, but it looks like he's also struggling a little bit on these primes.
Yeah, dropping back. I think Gaza and Pren both did go for options on their pit stops. I don't know what Dean went on, I didn't quite see, but as with P14 and 13 now, the two guys at the back, Seeks and Boldy. Boldy dropping back massively. Don't know what's happened to him. Maybe a bit of a problem, but Seeks going to get DRS. Coming back through the field of some sort. Getting one place back at least. But there is another car ahead of him. And Seeks hangs it round the outside. If I remember rightly, last season as well, Seeks and Boldy had quite a long battle around this track. So could be seeing something similar this year.
I just remember their contact on the last lap last season as well, but we won't mention that.
Yeah. As I think that was Prem pitting for Primes to start his last stint. So Solid in front. So I don't think he's pitted for his last stint yet. Still on the Primes, but Pren DRS should be a pretty easy move. Adam probably won't put up too much resistance if he hasn't pitted yet, and makes the move stick.
Yep, Adam still to pit for the options later on. We're on board with Six, and he's on a bit of a mission from as far back as he's coming from. Remember his broken wing early in the race with Carl, but he's passed Gavin as well, so Gavin is just falling like a stone. But next for on Six's list is Lance in the Marussia. Number 17 Marussia. Lance is completely sideways and he's gone all agriculture on the inside. Rob pits for a fresh set of options with 9 laps to go.
This is Ben.
Yep, that's Ben pitting. Sorry, it's quite hard to tell, but yep, he's onto options as well on the same lap, just behind Rob. In fact, as he leaves the pit lane.
Owen as well, gone for a set of primes. So we're back on board with Six, and Lance is lagging everywhere, but Six is sticking to a line. Probably just all he can do, as it's I think one of the Toro Rossos coming out the pits there, and all you can see in the mirrors, the Toro Rosso's down the inside. Just going on what we can see in the mirrors at the moment, it looks like the Toro Rosso of So Solid has made the move stick, probably a very important move as well. So Six, I assume he's got to pit one more time.
Yeah, I would have said so. I mean, he lost so much time, he wouldn't be in P7 on I wouldn't say on merit, but you know what I mean. He needs another stop.
Yeah.
As Rob with his options now, he's looking much happier and he's straight past Lance. There's no messing about there.
Lance almost pulling over for him.
Yeah, Lance knew there's no point fighting that one. I think he's quite good friends with Rob as well, so that probably helps. Ben, meanwhile, was out with the points at the moment with 9 laps to go and catching Lance, and I'm not sure Lance is going to fight this either. If he didn't fight it with Rob, I doubt he's going to fight it with Ben. He's holding his line at the moment, but surely Ben, with the extra grip, should fly down the inside and does. And that's him back into the points and not too far behind Rob.
Quiet race for Lance, but lap 21 and Six is in for his final stop, going back onto the options. Having to wait for someone to come through the pits, that's in Marussia. I assume that's Lance. Back on.
Mission for Six really is to try and get a point out of this if he can. Owen having the best race of his season, I would say. Looking good for points at the moment, although he's got a bit of a fight in his hands behind him. There's a lot behind him, a couple of cars, but he's on the primes against the option shod Michael, who's down the inside, is close, but just holds him off.
Yeah, So Solid goes fastest, but Michael is going to definitely get the DRS and probably make a move down the inside. Although Owen has just set the fastest lap of his race. So this will be interesting to see what he can do around the outside. Oh, very late. In fact, he's lost another place to, I think that's a Red Bull.
Yeah, he's fighting a losing battle against these guys on options.
No, it's not.
I think it's Gavin actually making a recovery now. He's back onto options, so we'll see if he can make ground. But he's up the inside of Owen, and that should be that.
Yeah, Six is not too far behind, judging by the map.
See the split time. Let's see what that says.
5 seconds.
5 seconds. He'll make that pretty quick, especially if he's on the options, which we know we saw in pit. So, yeah, it shouldn't take him too long to catch Owen. Poor Owen, he really deserves a point actually after his early couple of laps when he's running P6, I think he was. Yeah, a little bit upsetting for him.
Yeah, as we're back on board, got the DRS on Gavin. And, pretty bad lag that. I think that has to go down as.
Not sure how we explain that one. A crash, but wasn't. But
yeah,
anyway,
both of them come out unscathed, so should be okay to carry on.
Yeah, just something I noticed there. Six already only 3.9 behind Owen, so he's catching fast like we thought. But this battle looks like it's got a bit of heat about it. It's quite hard to judge from Owen. You feel sorry for him because of the lag. It's kind of hard to judge where to put the car.
Oh, Six having a massive moment there. Just close it down to 1.9 the gap to the guys in front, and then that comes out the bag, hitting the curb too hard. Unfortunately,
for senior driver maybe a little bit overconfident there on the use of the curbs, but this is getting tasty.
Very.
Brendan and Dean going all touring car style on each other.
Managed to somehow come out of it, both of them, without any damage or time lost, really. But Gonna Gamble on the options gets past Pren. And now he's going to try and charge down the leader of Gaza as we come back on board with Rob, who's now challenging Gareth for P5. Gareth, is he pitting or no? Another very defensive line. Some interesting lines today.
Yeah, you got to try every advantage you can get. But Rob had one of the best races he's had for a little while. Down the outside, and he's looking really aggressive. This is good to see from Rob. Round the outside, Gareth, and if he can hold that, and he has, that's another fantastic move. We've seen some great moves today, and that's on a 4-time champion. I think it's 4, but I tend to get that wrong. Meanwhile, Seeks, who's desperately get a point here, is catching Owen, and it's now only 1.1. Remember, it was 5 seconds, like 2 laps ago, and this shouldn't be too hard against Owen's primes.
Yep. Closed a lot under braking, and simple switchback should make it under brakes. And on board with Owen now. So, oh no, a bit weird.
No idea what's going on.
Lag there, definitely.
Do not adjust your TV sets. There is lag involved, and now 6.
Oh no!
God. Well, 6 is completely off Owen's Christmas card list.
Yeah.
A massive lag bubble, and that's taking the wing off Owen's car, and I wouldn't be surprised if he just parks it.
Yeah.
Going out to check the car, but I would say that's the end of his race.
Six also last season having
passed both Toro Rossos, but both are coming back at him now. It's like the options are starting to drop off a little bit.
Oh.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Adam gives him a face slap, like with a wet fish, and takes the P5 back. At your peril.
Them two having a race-long battle, but as Pren comes out the last corner in P3, Gunnar Gamble has got the win. He has passed Gaza at some point in the race. And Pren, I think that's his first podium of the season.
Yeah, Pren doing a great job.
As we're on board
at the start of the race, he is getting better as the season progresses.
Oh.
Now Owens, I don't know what he's doing here, but he's decided to park there. So after that action-packed day of racing at Bahrain, plenty of decent moves, plenty of lag, unfortunately, so that will be looked into by the organisers after this race to see if we can improve that. But anyway, Dean winning for the Mercedes team, and that's important for the championship, beating Gaza. He needed to do that, and he's done it. Gaza second, the champion from last season in a Red Bull. Third for Pren, his first podium, and I think there'll be more to come from him. He's definitely improving, as I've mentioned many times. Fourth for Amari. I think he'll be disappointed with that. He had a lot of pace today, but seemed to drop off. So solid man of the race, without a doubt, from 14th on the grid and a crash to 5th in the race.
And the fastest lap.
But you could see the way he was cutting through the field that he was clearly the fastest guy out there today. It's not taking anything away from Dean, of course. 6th for Rob, and I think he has to be pleased with that. He's beaten he's beaten Gareth and a few others that he's been racing with recently, and that's a great solid result for him in the Ferrari. Gareth will be disappointed with 7th. He always races to win. 8th for Ben at last, finishing a race. That's only his second classified finish and the first of the forced Indias today. 9th for Michael in the other Williams, backing up his teammate well. 10th for Gavin in the Marussia, beating poor Seeks by 2 seconds, who raced from the back with a broken wing in 11th place. Lance 12th, but again, he just lacked pace today. 13th for Owen in the Mercedes, didn't finish the race as we saw. 14th, Boldy didn't finish, we didn't see why. Carl in 15th also, we didn't see why, but maybe damage caused from the earlier collision with Seeks. 15th.
Yep, so after an interesting race, there was some interesting results as well. And thoroughly enjoyable race as well.
Yeah, the standard of driving day was really exceptional, especially with the overtakes. Some really good stuff.
Yeah, a little bit of contact here and there, but nothing that is worrying. So,
no, not really. No, I mean a lot of it was lag induced, and important for the championship that Dean won today. That stops Gaz's run. Gaz was starting to run away with the championship, so Dean's halted his run. We'll see what happens in the next coming races.
Yep. Thank you again, Ben, for helping us.
Thank you for putting it together.
That's okay. And before we join the podium, thank you very much, guys, and we'll see you next race, which is China. Good night.
Good night.